Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is RBT and welcome back to another Madden 18 Conference Combination Experiment video. We've done almost every division up to this point. Not sure which order I'm uploading this in. I'm trying to record the rest of them tonight. But today's video is going to be the AFC South all combined into one team. That is the Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Houston Texans. All their best players put into one team to see how well they can do throughout an NFL season and see if they can do what they should be doing in winning the Super Bowl with all four teams combined into one. So hopefully you guys do enjoy today's experiment video, and if you do, make sure to drop a like. Let's see if we can continue the trend and smash 2,000 likes once again on today's video. Let me know of any other experiment ideas you do have in the comment section below. And if this is not the last video I'm uploading in these orders of combination videos, let me know which division you do want to see next. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on the notification bell so you not miss any uploads on the channel. But with that said, let's go over the AFC South roster and see if they have what it takes, talent-wise, to win the Super Bowl. Starting quarterback is going to be Andrew Luck, backed up by Deshaun Watson, Marcus Mariota, and Blake Bortles. And it's funny that the worst quarterback on this team is the quarterback that went the farthest in the playoffs. But nonetheless, moving on to running back, we have Leonard Fournette, the rookie, backed up by Derrick Henry, Lamar Miller, DeMarco Murray, and Chris Ivory. At fullback, the starter is going to be Tommy Bohannon. At wide receiver, pretty solid DeAndre Hopkins, Allen Robinson, T.Y. Hilton, Marquise Lee, Rashard Matthews, Allen Hurns, Eric Decker, Will Fuller, Corey Davis, and that's it. And moving on to tight end, Delaney Walker, Mercedes Lewis, Jack Doyle, and C.J. Fedorowicz. Moving on to left tackle, we have the Tennessee Titan, Taylor Lewan, backed up by another Tennessee Titan, and Jack Conklin. At left guard, we have Quentin Spain, backed up by Jack Mewhort, kind of underwhelming there. At center, Brandon Linder, backed up by Ben Jones. At right guard, we have Josh Klein, backed up by Jack Mewhort once again. And at right tackle, we have Anthony Costanzo, backed up by Jack Conklin once again. Offensive line, extremely underwhelming for four teams put into one. Now moving on to defense, hopefully it's a little bit better, and it starts off a little bit better with J.J. Watt, backed up by Yannick. I never try to say his last name. Backed up by Dante Fowler. At right end, we have Calais Campbell, the veteran, backed up by Jarrell Casey and Jonathan Hankins. So it's been a pretty good defensive line thus far. Moving on to defensive tackle, it's still pretty good. Malik Jackson, backed up by Marcel Darius, Al Woods, Avery Jones, and Desmond Bryant. Now the linebacker core is pretty good too. Jabal Sherrod, backed up by Telvin Smith and Whitney Mercilus. Moving on to middle linebacker, it's Whitney Mercilus. It's going to get on my nerves. I don't know why I said Mercilus. Everybody gets on to me when I say Mercilus, so it's Whitney Mercilus. I apologize. Middle linebacker, Avery Williamson, Wesley Woodyard, Paul Posluszny, and Benardick McKinney. On the right side, we have Jadeveon Clowney, backed up by Brian Orakpo and John Simon. At the cornerback position, pretty good. Jalen Ramsey, AJ Bouye, Jonathan Joseph, Logan Ryan, and Rashawn Melvin. At free safety, the Titan Kevin Byard, backed up by Tashawn Gibson and Corey Moore. Strong safety, we have Barry Church, backed up by Matthias Fairley. And at kicker, Adam Vinatieri. And at punter, we have Brad Nortman. Now, boys, I'm not too sure about this team. I mean, obviously, in real life, they should be winning the Super Bowl. But with the ratings, especially the O-line, I'm not real sure. The offense is good, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of underwhelming when you compare it to previous combination videos. And the defense, it's one of the best defense, I think, across the board that we've seen. A little underwhelming, a strong safety, but aside from that, this defense is mighty solid. So with that said, I mean, I don't know. This team could go 16-0, they could go 10-6. Madden's wild, always have to keep that into consideration. Now, as always, the first thing that we do is check out to see what players his CPU did cut off the team and where they ended up at a free agency, because obviously the roster size is too large once you combine all teams into one. So, Corey Davis, the Titan, goes to the Vikings. We have Adrian Waddle to the Titans, John Simon to the Titans. Titans signing a lot of players trying to make up for the best players being gone. Matt Skura to the Titans, Jonathan Hankins to the Titans, Blake Bortles to the Titans, he got cut. Titans signed a ton of players. Miles Jack, that's a crazy one, to the Cowboys. James Hurst to the Dolphins. The Browns signed Dante Fowler. It's bad for him. Feel bad for him. Corey Moore to the Giants. Avery Jones to the Bengals. Adoree Jackson, another Titans rookie, got cut, signed to the Packers. And that looks like it is it. So with that said, boys, time to do our predictions before we send to the playoffs. I'm going to say this team goes 14-2. Offense a little underwhelming. I mean, they could go 16-0. We've seen crazier things, but I'm going to say 14-2. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below, and let's see who can get the closest. The AFC South does get a first-round bye. The offense progressed pretty good, so they might have actually had the best offense in the NFL. You can never tell. Now, defensively, they didn't progress at all. Like, dog, Like, that went completely opposite of what I thought. So I'm expecting, since the defense didn't like progress at all and their confidence is low, I'm gonna say they probably lost 4 games maybe, and the defense did worse than the offense stat-wise. I don't know. You can never tell. 14-2, my original prediction, I think was correct. But I don't know anymore, dog. I used to be good at these predictions. Now, the Titans won 7 games. That is wild. So the Titans, without their best player, still win 7 games. That's the best I think any team has done in these experiments, with losing their best team, like their best players, that is. That's wild. Now, did we have the best record? We should have. We tied with the Jaguars. Tied with the Seahawks. I don't know. The Seahawks have a better team than the Jaguars, Colts, Titans, and Texans all put together. Madden's crazy. Chargers as always have a good year. Patriots go 12-4. Who ended up with the worst record in the NFL? The Browns somehow win 6 games. And it looks like the Jets and Texans both had 2 wins, so they have the worst 2 records in the NFL. Now, let's look at the stats, see how the team did. We had the 5th best offense in the NFL. And stat-wise, on defense, we had the 2nd best defense. So I guess you can no longer go by the confidence thing and by the boosted overalls. Used to? I don't know now. But anyways, do we have an MVP on our team? No. Russell Wilson came in 1st and Andrew Luck came in 3rd. Anybody else in the top 10? No, we did not. Brock Osweiler came in 7th. Dog, I've never seen that. That's different. But moving on to stat-wise, Andrew Luck, 4,600 yards, 35 touchdowns, 9 picks, was sacked 39 times, which is a lot and probably the most by far out of any of the quarterbacks in any of these experiments when it comes to divisions being combined, because our offensive line was by far, I think, the worst out of any division thus far. Rushing yards, though, we had 25 touchdowns combined from our top 2 guys. 2 young running backs, Leonard Fournette and Derrick Henry. Leonard Fournette did have 1,300 yards. Derrick Henry didn't do much. Offensive yards per carry wise, it wasn't too good. Leonard Fournette was 3.8 and it goes down from there. Receiving yard wise, we had 2 1,000 yard receivers in DeAndre Hopkins and T.Y. Hilton, and we had T.Y. Hilton lead us with 11 touchdowns. Now defensively, we had Avery Williamson lead us with 111 tackles, and we had, oh my god, 2 players with 20 or more sacks. Calais Campbell with 24 and J.J. Watt with 20. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Now checking out the rest of the AFC South. First of all, going to look at the Indianapolis Colts, see how bad they did just for giggles. Jacoby Brissett was their starter, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks, 4,200 yards, only sacked 31 times. So according to this, dog, the Colts, so apparently the whole entire AFC South offensive line combined into one allows more sacks than the Colts without their best offensive lineman. This game makes no sense. Rushing guard wise, they still had Frank Gore, had a decent season, almost 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. Their leading rusher was Robert Turbin, touchdown wise, 7. And their leading receiver was Kamar Aiken with 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns. A lot of receivers had 6 touchdowns. And we always see Stevie Johnson having great years because he's a free agent and they always sign him because they have no players on their team. And he always does good for teams. So maybe that shows some NFL team in real life should actually sign him. Now moving on next to the Houston Texans, see how bad they did statistically. They had Tom Savage, got sacked 60 times, 19 touchdowns, 12 picks. That's not completely awful. Almost threw for 4,000 yards. Rushing yard wise, their leading receiver was Deontay Foreman with not even 800. Him and Alfred Blue both had 6 touchdowns. And receiving yard wise, they had D.D. Westbrook leading with 887. And their leading receiver, touchdown wise, had 3. And last but not least, my Titans with Blake Bortles somehow won 7 games. 3,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 picks, was sacked only 32 times. So once again, another O-line in the division that did better sack-wise than the actual whole division combined. Rushing guard-wise, T.J. Yeldon with almost 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. And they had Kenneth Dixon, who they signed out of free agency, with 11 touchdowns, which is pretty good. Leading receiver was Marquise Wilson with over 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, before we do sim the playoffs and see if the team does win the Super Bowl, I do want to see how the AFC South did, who they lost to in the regular season. Lost to the Chargers. This always happens. The Chargers always win. I don't understand how, Madden always favors the Chargers, but there's more proof. The Seahawks beat us by 1 point. So judging by that, I think they still should win the Super Bowl, but crazier things have happened. Let's see who we play in the divisional round of the playoffs. We did get a first round bye. Going to be taking on the Steelers, who went 10-6 on the year. So is the AFC South going to clutch it up? No. Dog, we lost bad. 48-29. That is bad. So the AFC South doesn't do the goddamn thing as the last couple of divisions I recorded did do the goddamn thing, but we lose bad. How does that defense give up 48 points? So I guess the last thing we can do in today's video is to see who wins the Super Bowl. And the Steelers made it, but the Falcons finally claim a Super Bowl trophy to get the win 27-21. The AFC South, four NFL teams combined into one. Can't win the Super Bowl. Madden's wild, that's all I can say. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video nonetheless. And if you did, make sure to drop a big thumbs up. Let's see if we can smash 2,000. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and turn on the notification bell if you haven't already. But with that said, I will catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. I smell awful. Peace.